Now we're going to move on to yesterday was the 1st of October, and that meant that the prescription levy that was announced in last year's budget, which of course is nearly a year ago, came into force. 50 cent per prescription for everybody, and I see the Irish Pharmaceutical Union has come out and criticised the HSE for its failure to communicate to the public about the introduction. It seemed to sort of arrive all of a sudden out of nowhere. I see the president of the Irish Pharmaceutical Union, Darragh O'Loughlin, says this levy has faded from the public consciousness since it was first announced in last year's budget. The HSE hasn't run any sort of an adequate public information campaign to ensure that medical card patients will be alerted to the imposition of this charge, something which they believe should have happened long ago. Well, I'm joined in the studio now by an acting pharmacist from just around the corner here in Pearse Street, and that's Tomas Conefrey. You're very welcome to Down to Business, Tomas. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Mark.
Do you share the views of your pharmaceutical union?
Oh, very much. I very much agree with them. When the levy was announced last year, everybody was all set to go with it starting in April of this year.
Right.
But due to delays in legislation, it didn't actually come on stream till yesterday, come into effect.
So it was delayed.
Delayed, yeah.
Okay.
Over an issue with what actually defines a family. So once the legal definition of a family was sorted out, that's
clarify the thing.
Yeah, the 1st of October.
All right, now, so maybe just if you wouldn't mind, for listeners' information, you might explain how this works now.
Sure. Every medical card patient has to pay 50 cent per medicine dispensed on a prescription, and there are a few exceptions, very few exceptions. So if somebody gets a prescription for 5 items, they pay 50 cent times 5, which is 250.
Okay.
And
that's for each item.
For each item, yeah, essentially.
And heretofore, medical card patients have got that for free.
Yes.
All right. So it's a relatively small charge now.
Well, it depends now on somebody's means. Everybody is strapped at the moment, so depending on how many medications people are taking, it could be quite sizable. I know they've put a cap in it for €10 per family.
Yeah, that had to be clarified. €10 per family per month now.
Per month now.
Okay,
yes,
all right.
Per month, yeah.
So the maximum hit is £10 a month.
It is, but I mean, like I said, everybody's strapped, and I think really, it's by law we're obliged to actually collect it. Like, we're not in favour of the levy, but by law we have to actually collect it. I had a lady yesterday, and she hit the magic €10, and you can imagine
on her first prescription.
On her first prescription yesterday at 1 o'clock, and I said, is this a shadow of things to come?
That suggests, though, that you might give me a sense of this now. What is for an average medical card, and I suppose no such thing as an average medical card customer, but what would the amount of the number of prescriptions they would have in a month be? Would it be multiples of?
Generally, if they're on, say, blood pressure medication or inhalers, they would probably just get it once a month.
Okay, but so that's 50 cent. That's easy.
Yeah, it depends how many medications they're on. Like, if they're on blood pressure, cholesterol, maybe aspirin, that's 3 items alone.
Okay, so there's 150 on top of your charge.
And then they could have other conditions as well. On top of blood pressure, could be asthma, there could be other conditions, diabetes, for example, as well.
Yes, exactly. I've a texter in, and you might give me a sense of this, who says that, Mark, I can see the value in a prescription charge for community patients, but the inclusion of nursing home residents is crazy. How is it supposed to be collected? Pharmacists have received a letter from the HSE that nursing homes should collect. All right. Nursing homes have been told that pharmacists should collect. Ah, great. I supply a 30-bed home for no extra charge for call-outs, deliveries, specialist packaging and so on. Now I've got to go to each bed and ask for the charge. Madness and unworkable. I presume he's a pharmacist, and I think he's right.
Yeah, I agree with him. Definitely. Yeah, I mean, we only got a letter from the HSE the week before last. I think it was dated the 21st of September, and I got it on the 23rd, just clarifying who's going to be included and who's going to be exempt. So, and then I got a subsequent letter this week from our union just over the nursing home issue. Right. So it's still
at this point that this person is testing it. So, right, I'm slightly baffled, because if this was decided last December, supposed to be implemented in April, okay, challenge about the issue of the family, when was that sorted out?
Over the summer.
Over the summer. It feels to sound like these guys only started to work out the rules in the last couple of weeks.
That's the impression that I get. I mean, they've no advertising campaign, or very little. I mean, we got a box of leaflets on Monday morning at 9:30, landed in my shop.
Right.
And I just put some out on the counter, and all week I've been putting them into people's bags.
Yeah.
And I've been talking to people as well. I think, by actually physically going out and talking to people, I've been trying to explain the situation to people and get the message across of how it will work from the 1st of October onwards.
Right. So, your experience so far then, people obviously can't object to paying it. It's part of what they have to do. They've been responsive?
Yes. Everybody. I had one lady this morning, but again, it wasn't so much that she refused to pay, but she was asking in general.
Yes.
So, but everybody has been forthcoming.
Okay. Who is exempt, just by the way, for people to know that?
The people that are exempt are, So
I know that medical card holders and people who are on
long-term illness, also people who get medications under the Health Amendment Act. These are people who they were infected with bad blood for hepatitis.
They're free.
They're free.
Right, and I gather people who are on methadone has to pay as well?
They do. The methadone people are exempt.
They're exempt. Okay.
Exempt from methadone only.
Oh, for methadone. So, right. But if they're getting something else,
if they're getting something else, they're treated.
Okay. All right. Well, listen. Thank you very much for giving me. Is there anything else that I need to know and my listeners need to hear?
Well, just if anybody has any doubts at all, come in and see us. Come and see your pharmacist. Like our job title is community pharmacist, so we're all about the community. So just if you have any doubts at all, please come in and see us, and don't stop taking your medication. Really, that's the most important thing. Come in and talk to us. We'll explain it the best we can, but it's vital that people don't start taking the medication just because of this charge.
Right. Okay. That's very, very sensible and very, very good advice. Tomas Conefrey, thank you very much, from Conefrey's Pharmacy on Pearse Street in Dublin. Still getting some texts in on